How's everybody doing today? Bear with me, guys. Trying to get everything set up here on the technology side and get our screen share set up. Just be one moment. You guys have a good weekend? Had the Arlington Million, had the 4-star Dave at Saratoga. A lot going on the racing front, that's for sure. I was at the Arlington Million, and it was wild. A lot of people there for the last one. Got quite the upset with 2 Emmys to beat domestic spending. So, Andrew, nice seeing you, buddy. Man, Andrew, I'll tell you what, this guy is awesome. He's everywhere. Andrew's at a different track, it seems like, every single weekend. And he was working, correct me if I'm wrong, with the Retired Jockeys Fund. Is that what you're doing, Andrew? He was passing out a lot of goods to a lot of people, trying to help support some good causes out there. So that was really cool, man. Got to meet a couple other EquinEdge followers, Chrissy, Nathan, Oldie. Got to meet all you guys. That was awesome last week. I'm trying to pull up my EquinEdge screen here for you guys, so that way we can go through the card and everything at Del Mar today. My internet's going a little slow. Looks like we're off the turf course again at Saratoga, unfortunately. I know that they've been getting pounded with rain up there. Seems like about an everyday occurrence. All right, let's see if I can share my screen with you guys. Okay, screen share. Okay. All right, guys. Can you see my screen okay? Should have EquinEdge up now. I'm going to try to keep up with the chat and the comments as best I can today for you guys. It's like we're getting towards the end of the summer meets. We've got just a few weeks left with Saratoga, and then just a few weeks left with Del Mar. And man, then we'll be looking and focusing on the Breeders' Cup. It's all coming together really quickly. All right, here we go. EquinEdge is up now. Okay, just bear with me, guys. We're almost there. Just having a few technical difficulties today. And okay, trying to switch my screen over, guys. Just give me a couple more minutes. Okay, sorry guys, just restarting my computer here. Bear with me. Has anybody looked at the Del Mar card today? See what we got? Technical difficulties make everything really fun. It's like the more we improve the technology, it seems like the more that can sometimes go wrong here. So I'm just getting to my other computer so I can actually screen share the visual and the EquinEdge platform with you guys. And so thanks for your patience. We're working on this, and I will get it resolved here shortly. Okay, we're connected. Almost there. Okay, StreamYard, here we go. All right, guys, we're almost there. Here we go, enter the studio. Thanks for everybody's patience. All right, testing. Audio. Okay. Okay, guys. Sorry about that. Thanks for everybody's patience with this. We got the tech figured out, and we should be good to go from here. So let's tackle this Del Mar card, guys. What is up today? So we got Mike, we got Ross, we got Bruce, we got Dave. Yes, Chrissy, Junior, Anthony, Andrew. Thank you guys for sticking with us through some tech difficulties today. But yeah, me and Justin are going to be doing our Action Hour show later on tonight. We go live at 9 Eastern, and we'll be ready for you guys. We're going to cover the stakes races at Saratoga, and then we're also going to cover a little bit of the Pacific Classic. And we're just going to kind of give you the biggest stakes races of the weekend. and make sure that you guys are all up to date on what's going on there and going forward. Should be a fun show tonight. I know me and Justin have been talking about it, and we're excited. And so we're going to give you a little Del Mar now, and then a little Saratoga later on. So let's keep the chat going, guys. I'm going to be with you guys for about an hour, and let's handicap this Del Mar card and see if maybe we can find some value. I know when we did this last week, a lot of you were hitting that pick 5, and that was awesome. I think we missed one race. I think it was the third race, that ender of the pick 3. That 7 horse in Rispoli kind of got up and got us. But trying to keep the tickets very economical, very playable for everybody. And so if you guys have any questions or want to look at something in detail, I'm happy to go through that with you guys today. So you guys just let me know. I'm going to start with the early pick 5 here at Del Mar, and then maybe we'll do a couple of pick 3s or something like that. But let's start rocking and rolling here. Okay. All right. Everybody hear me okay? Everybody can hear me and see me? Let's see what we've got here today. Let's put in a $60 budget for this pick 5. And let's go from there. Nice to have Del Mar back. Nice that you don't have to really worry about off the turf here at Del Mar. All the handicapping is pretty straightforward. You know, when I'm handicapping up at Saratoga, I feel like I have to make so many changes with scratches and coming off the turf and this and that. So if you guys see something that sticks out to you, let me know. But we're just going to dive right in here. This is a maiden claiming race for $63,000 for fillies and mares 3-year-old and up, going 6 furlongs on the dirt. And use the ticket generator here. And when I'm using the ticket generator, I always plug in an amount that I think I want to spend on the ticket, and then I will adjust up or down depending on how hard I end up thinking the sequence is. If it's a sequence where I can figure out if it's going to pay stacks, then I want to spend a little bit more money on the ticket. Whereas like at Arlington last weekend, for you guys that saw me up there, we did not spend very much on the pick 5 tickets. I spent $5 on the pick 5 tickets and ended up paying $201. And so $5 for 50 cents ended up being pretty good on Saturday at Arlington. Unfortunately, we only missed the million race, which we would have probably been walking out of there with full bags of cash had domestic spending gotten up under that awful walk the dog pace pressure that was not given with James Graham and 2 Emmys on the front end. So interesting here. Scotty Longshot is the one, Adaha, and this is a 30% win horse. Kyle Fry for Doug O'Neill. Doug O'Neill's been struggling a little bit, but Kyle Fry has been as hot as can be. This horse is coming off of 1 turf start, going back to the dirt. Looks like they used blinkers last time, and the GSR was a little bit higher on the turf than it was the dirt. And so this horse is coming out of about as strong as a race as anybody besides the 4. And so this is maybe a live Scotty Longshot at 6-1. You see the EE morning line matches up with the track morning line at 6-1. And so they're saying that that's actually a fair value on that horse. And so when I see 30% win, Scotty Longshot coming out of tough competition and coming back to the dirt for a reason, this is a major player here. We're definitely going to have the 1 on our ticket. Let's look at the top Scotty pick, the 3 Bowl of Cherries here. This is the 3 horse also coming out of 2 turf sprints at Santa Anita and Del Mar, going back to the dirt. This horse's GSR really doesn't matter, turf or dirt. The horse looks very versatile, no matter what surface they're going to be running on. And so this horse, what I like to see is he's dropping out of maiden special weight company, coming back down to maiden claiming. Well, he's been here before. And so they've tried maiden claiming a couple of different times on this horse. And he seems to just run his race where he doesn't really pass a whole lot of horses. He just kind of sits 3rd and 4th and stays there the whole entire time. And so with this race being a average race SOR of 46, this is not a whole lot different than what this horse has already been facing and just hasn't been winning. And so if this horse is 4-1 on the morning line, EE's got him 2-1. This horse is probably going to vie for some favoritism here, and maybe we can beat him. Let's see. Jose Valdivia, who's only winning at 8%. This to me is a vulnerable class dropper. I mean, it is the top pick, but the win percentage is not even close to what the win percentage is on the 1. and he's coming out of the same kind of class and company. What do you guys think of this 3 here? I mean, this is definitely a horse that you don't want to beat you, but I really don't think is posing that much of a threat. Let's look at the horse Rev Rita that's coming out of the toughest maiden special weight. Really didn't do any running. Went wide the first time out. 68 GSR. That's a nice for this group here. If we look at the GSR tab, he's going to be the highest on the GSR. That's kind of scary, especially for this level of a race, and the ticket generator also has it. 15% win percentage. The EE morning line, however, is shooting way up from 3-1 to 7-1 on our system. So that's a little bit to be alarmed about. Let's look at the horse that's probably going to win. This is For Love, Not Money, depending on what you choose. Mark Glatt sends out Flavian Pratt, and Glatt is actually contending with Peter Miller for the training title here at Del Mar. They're pretty close. We'll see if maybe Glatt can make up a few today on him. Let's see here. We've got a turf sprint. Really didn't do any running. We get him over to the main track, going 6.5 furlongs in the dirt, breaking from the 1 hole. Maybe didn't feel good or covered up on the inside there. Went 3 wide, angled out in the stretch, and then who knows? Did he get beat by a monster by 12 3/4 length? That's coming out of a similar group. Looking at the 4 here, Devil's Message. This is a horse that came out of a lower maiden special weight Indiana Grand. Out of Daredevil, gets Jessica. I always like horses that go to the lead with Jessica. That's where she wins. And she's been winning at 12%, but more times than not, she's going to be winning on the lead. Greg's got a question here. How much do I put into a horse's GSR on synthetic? I'm seeing a horse today with a GSR of 76, and the next best horse in the race is a 57. No starts at this distance and surface, first race lifetime. Greg, can you tell me what track and what race that is? And we'll take a look at it. And what I'm looking for there, Greg, is I want to know if there's a big difference in the horse that was running on dirt before into a synthetic. So let's say he was like a 57 on the dirt, if that's what you're saying, and now he's a 76 on synthetic. That's worth paying attention to. But I also want to see how he ran last time out on the other surface. And so what this is going to tell us, Woodbine Race 3. Okay, let's go take a look at this real quick here for Greg. All right, GSR, or Woodbine Race 4. Okay, wow, 76. Mi Tormenta. So this has got to be a brother or a sister to El Tormenta. This is a horse that won the Woodbine Mile a couple years ago at like 40-1. So we've got this horse coming off of turf, and I generally like turf horses coming to synthetic because I think that surface translates a lot easier than going from synthetic to dirt or from turf to dirt. So 1% win percentage, far back, never in it. So what I would do is I would go back and watch this replay because I want to know why the horse was never involved. Was he off a step slow? Looks like he broke dead last, was just never really in the running and never really made up any ground. You could go back and look at this horse. I'm interested in the replay maybe of if the jockey just really never got this horse involved from the start. That's where visually we would like to have a little bit more information on why he was in the back of the pack the whole time. But if we look at Handy View and then GSR Plus here for this horse, synthetic looks like that's what he's bred for. I mean, this horse has got some nice high synthetic ratings for sure. Dirt, he's not bad either. But turf, it looks like he absolutely hates the turf. I mean, he wants nothing to do with it. Nothing more than a 58 GSR when everything dirt and higher is a 66. So, yeah, I mean, that would definitely, that sticks out to me. We look for major differences in the GSR, and you're going to get a huge price in this horse. I wouldn't say that this horse is necessarily worth a win bet, but maybe trying to include in a multi, in a horizontal or a vertical. But, man, that's a big difference. I guarantee that this horse is popping up in Scotty's Trainer's Edge, and that's a whole new ball game there. So no, that horse is definitely worth a look. But look at the replay, see why he did no running, and then that'll tell us a lot more going forward about what we need to know about that horse. Okay, back to Del Mar Race 1, guys. You know, this is turning into kind of a toss-up race of the have-not horses. I just don't like it when Jessica's not on the lead, so I'm going to eliminate that 8 horse. I'm going to eliminate the 6. I really didn't like what I saw there. And we know that the 3 is just kind of run his race. These are the 4 horses that I ended up with, and I'm willing to get even skinnier with just the 1 and the 7 if we need to later on. So let's put our $60 budget back in for our ticket, and then move on from there. Okay. All right. Generate ticket. Okay. Moving on to race 2 here. Hey, Alex, how's it going? And Greg, I hope that made sense for you. Thanks for asking the question. Sheldon says the horse at Woodbine is dropping to find his friends. Maybe. You never know. All right. Race number 2 here, $8,000 claimer, fillies and mares 3-year-olds and up, going 5.5 on the dirt. Let's see who we have in here. The ticket generator is using the 6 and the 8. I'll immediately go to the GSR tab in a situation like this and see it's not telling me a whole lot other than this field is kind of equally bred. And so, okay, that's fine. Nothing really stands out. Not like that last race at Woodbine where the horse was in the high 70s. We don't see anything like that here. Low level claiming. Going to look at a few changes. We've got the 1 horse with the blinkers on, a couple of jockey changes. Other than that, this was nothing huge here. These horses, let's see, from an SOR perspective, we do have one standout. We got to look at this 8. Show me the magic. Look at all the other horses in this race, the SORs. This horse has a 66. He's been racing against way tougher. 7-2 morning line, 3-1 EE morning line with a 20% win percentage. And the horse is coming out of, my goodness, a 76, a 72, a 66. And so really has only been running a couple of times a year. Last time he did any running was 2019, so almost 2 years ago. And this is an average race SOR of 52. So what I'm going to go do is look at Handy View again and see the last time that this horse was in a class level was 2019, and she won. And she turned away a horse. So this 8, I think this 8 is live. I think that the 8 needed a race or two, got it in there, and as long as she's not taking any steps back, she's getting back to the dirt, which from a GSR perspective, she didn't like the turf either. This was just a turf experiment. She gets back to the dirt, and the GSR tells us that that's the preferred surface. Even if we go to GSR Plus here, the dirt has a 61 and the 50 is on the turf. And so for Blacker and Emily, this could be a good player here. I like the 8 a lot. Let's look at the top Scotty pick, Island Life, Jessica Pfeiffer, Jonathan Wong. Jessica on the lead. Jessica on the lead. I can see why the ticket generator used these 2 horses because this is an absolute must-use for me. Let's eliminate a few here. And, you know, this is a little tougher to eliminate some horses because nobody's a 1%. Nobody is higher than 12-1 on the EE morning line. It's like Sheldon's got a question. At low-level claiming with all horses, can we discount the GSR somewhat, or is that an EE sacrilegious? Is that what you're trying to say? So with low-level claiming horses that are older, I get a better idea of how they're running based off of the past performances. Okay. And so, for instance, first-time starters, GSR is dynamite. You have to look at the GSR for first-time starters or a horse doing something for the first time. Okay. Or a horse that tried an experiment, let's say going dirt to turf, and now is coming back to the dirt like we see in this situation where, okay, they tried it, the GSR was lower, it didn't work out, now they're coming back to the dirt. So what I'll do is I'll cross out those low GSR races because they don't matter. At the end of the day, I don't care how the horse ran on turf because that's not what this race is on. So I won't even use those races in my handicapping. Good question, Sheldon. All right, Mike thinks Trouble in Paradise is interesting. What's your case for this one, Mike? Let's hear it. What do you like about the 3 here? We have a very low percent jockey, and so that That's a little alarming here that he's getting the call. Horse is coming out of, decent 56, 58, 54 SOR races and has been competitive. And so, I see it. 4-1's a little short for me on this horse particularly. Do you think he trips out? What do you think about this 3, Mike? Let us know. Good GSR. EE morning line's a little higher than the track morning line. We usually don't like seeing that. Daniel says he would use the 3 instead of the 8 as well. Okay. What are you guys hating on the 8 for? We're looking at how she's coming back from the turf, back to the dirt, and not only that, dirt sprinting. The more and more I look at this 6, the more and more I want to single the 6. 5-2 morning line. Let's see. EE says she's going to be 2-1. Overtaken in the last 8th, clear second. So she was beaten in her last 2. But she was able, it looks like she was able to sit off the pace. In 2 of her wins, she was actually able to sit off the pace. So that makes this horse, maybe she gets a little lazy on the front end. That's what I could see here. And it looks like 2 back, she was pace pressured on the front end. I like the 6 a lot. I like the 6 and the 8 right now. But we got to be bold in our tickets. I'm going to single the 6 here. Anybody want to disagree with that? I'm going to use 6 primarily here, but I think the 8 is a runner, especially with the GSR coming back to the dirt here. You know what? Actually, if we can find another single, we'll use them both. We'll see. We'll see what we get to, guys. Okay. All right, on to race 3. This is a 5 furlong turf sprint. Fillies and mares, 3-year-old and up. Okay. Plum Sexy, that horse reminds me. Peter Miller. Yep. I remember this horse. Clement's got a really good horse named Too Sexy. You get JJ Hernandez up. That horse is going to be a use. Coming out of 62 SOR company, coming out of the toughest races, back down to a 54 SOR. Ran in a grade 2 and finished 4th. $150,000 allowance races, 74 SOR. This horse is a player. Peter Miller, top trainer at Del Mar for the time being. Oh, we've got Saratoga going off. Here we go. Andrew's got a good point. Andrew says he does not like to see a surface change within an equipment change. Believes that the trainer is guessing. I can agree with you there, Andrew, because if we go back to race 2 at Del Mar and we look at the 8, okay, we see that it was an experiment. They tried sprinting, okay, on the dirt. Then they tried going a mile on the dirt and lost by 20 lengths. So they're like, okay, well, maybe we have a turf horse. And if they would have used EquinEdge, they would have seen that the GSR drop didn't make sense to move this horse over to the turf. Turf sprinting 2 times didn't work either. The company that this horse is coming out of is what really did it for me. If we look at the changes, blinkers are on and you get a different jockey. So good point, Andrew. Oh, Ross, don't hate on Arlington. I love the races at Arlington on Saturday. We won 9 out of 10 races. EquinEdge following that we met up there can attest to that. Oh, man. I was talking to my buddy Greg about the million, and we've watched that race 100 times each. And, great horses can still overcome a bad pace scenario, in my opinion. Domestic Spending is a great horse, but man, I thought he was going to get there. But when you go 52-2 on the front end with James Graham, I mean, that 2 Emmys horse ran the race of his life. Good for him. It is kind of a script ending to Arlington that Jimmy was a rider up there for years and that he came back in. And I asked Greg, I go, why is James Graham here? What horse is he going to win on? Because, We looked at, he was riding, I think, the Ride of a Lifetime, 2 Emmys, and then there was a speed horse in race number 4. We're like, who's James going to win on here? And the one race that we didn't think was the one that he did, and that's just what James Graham does. Oh, Daniel, I was out at Del Mar 2 weeks ago. Me and Scotty and Justin were out there hanging out for 4 days. It was great. It was Whitney weekend. But I'll be seeing Scotty in a week at the NHC. That's coming up. That'll be exciting. Hopefully we can have EquinEdge go first and second. That'd be cool to have the EquinEdge Exacta at the NHC. We're definitely looking forward to that for a big week for all of us. Okay, back to racing. All right, we got Jessica on another speed horse, new drama for Tim Yakatine. I like it. I like it a lot. So there's a little bit of an SOR jump here. EE Morning Line does like this horse a little bit, going down to 7-2. On a multi-race wager, I'm definitely going to have this one horse on my ticket. Let's look here. It looks like 6 furlongs maybe was a little long for her, and then they finally got her down to 5 furlongs, and also first time on the Del Mar turf course. It's another thing I look at is horse for course angle. Maybe some horses just don't like a certain configuration. There's turf courses that have tighter turns or wider turns or an inner and an outer turf track. And so sometimes, I mean, she was running at this level and not winning. She was speeding and fading. Maybe the turns at Del Mar are what this new drama one horse really likes. One's definitely going to be on the ticket. All right, we're eliminating a few here. Get this down from a big field of 9 down to a field of 5. Makes it a lot easier to handicap here. AG Indy. Rispoli for Doug O'Neill. Okay, this is another horse that showed speed going a mile. Then when they turned him back to 6 furlongs sprinting, didn't really show speed. And that's something that I want people to take note of is people, when you have a horse routing or even going a 1-turn mile on the turf or the turf, you have to take a look at speed horses are not necessarily going to be on the lead going a mile. All right, guys, I'll be right back. I got to get my charger and I'll get a drink. I'll be right back. All right, guys. John, what days are the NHC? They are next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So the 27th, the 28th, and the 29th of August. Hopefully me and Scotty are both sitting at that final table on Sunday. I think the top 10 get the final table. And so that would be really cool. Different animal to play a win-place contest, though, than a live money one. Everybody gets mandatory plays, and then you get some optional plays as well. So what I've been doing is spending a lot of time watching the tracks that we're going to be having for the NHC to try to find some bombs. because everybody's going to need a few 10, 20 to 1 shots to win this tournament. What's up, Keith? How's it going? All right. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So what we don't know about this 5-horse AG Indy is he truly a sprinter? The horse obviously is used to being on the lead, and now they cut him back. Broke fine. Passed a couple of horses in the stretch at a 64 level. This is a 54. Okay, dropping a little bit. I was going to say, does this horse actually like passing horses, or does he just want to be on the lead and be on the lead alone? All right, here we go. Pratt with the other O'Neill. This horse is also cutting back from routing, going to sprint. Showed speed routing. Coming out slightly less competition. Here's another speed horse for Peter Miller. There could be some speed in this race. I mean, because you're going to have Emily with the 1. You know she's going. There's 2 Peter Millers and 2 Doug O'Neills in here. I'm trying to figure out who the horse is that actually wants to pass horses. Let's see. Cedillo's horse for Miller, the 4, has tried turf twice, once at Del Mar at a lower level, and really didn't have that much success. That was when he was a 2-year-old. Now we're a 3-year-old. And first 2 starts as a 3-year-old have come out pretty strong. All right. How did we qualify for the NHC? Well, Scotty finished first in the Pegasus, and I finished second. And so you get an automatic entry to the NHC. I do play a lot of horse tourneys as well. And so I've been playing quite a few recently, just low budget ones, trying to get ready and get my mind in the $2 win place frame of mind. But no, there's qualifiers all year long with different live money bankroll tournaments. Horsetourneys.com has a lot of those as well. And there's a bunch of different ways to qualify. People try to qualify all the time. It's hard. I agree, Sheldon. That's the goal. We're going to find the winners in the mandatories. Even if they're chalk, we got to find some winners, because you have to constantly be racking up, at least, $4 to $6 even on those mandatory races, and then find your $20 to $30, win place winners at the optionals. I think that's a great strategy to have. I agree, Alex. That's going to be my top pick here, the 2. Yep. Reading my mind. We have the 5, the 6, the 4, and the 1 that are all going to show speed here. So I think the 2 sits the perfect trip here. This 2 could be dangerous. I think it's kind of maybe going to be the Peter Miller that gets overlooked a little bit. But no, I think you're right. I think the 2 is the one that's going to pick up the pieces here. So we're definitely going to use the 2, but here's my question. What if somebody on the front end gets loose? So the milers that are coming back might not show as much speed as the 1 will. So if Jessica's speed is the true speed of the speed, then, well, this other Peter Miller horse might not show as much speed on the turf as what he does on the dirt. I don't like the 4. I'm going to toss the 4. Toss the 4, regenerate. I have a hard time leaving Rispoli or Pratt off of a ticket. So, hey, how does that look to you guys? Wow, Sheldon's a 7-time qualifier. That's awesome, dude. Are you going to be there this year? Let us know. All right, on to race 4, Del Mar. This is a mile in the dirt. Ooh, this is interesting. A 3% win, yet the top Scotty pick in an EE morning line of 9 to 5. Ooh. Okay. Doug O'Neill, Abel Cedillo. System wants to single to 2. Lugged in, bumped early, bumped the last 16th. So this horse is coming out of a terrible trip. So if we had more to go off of on this horse, I would like to see the replay on this one because I want to see how bad that trip actually was. Oh, no, Sheldon. Yeah, I know that. Man, that's disappointing, dude. Oh, no online options either is what I was hearing. And so, man, that's unfortunate. We'd love to have you there. Okay, first time starter for Mike McCarthy. So young horses. So let's take a look at the GSR tab here. If anybody sticks out, nobody really sticks out that much. The Scotty Longshot is the top GSR play, coming from turf to dirt. So the GSR on the turf is about the same as it was in the dirt. Does anybody watch the replay on this too? I'm going to take a look at it real quick because I want to see if this horse was absolutely loaded and if the notes are correct. We can eliminate the 3 here. You guys watching Saratoga today too? Looks like we had race 1 go off and Atris wins again. He's red hot right now and is fast with John Velasquez. How about Luis Saez absolutely running away with the riding title right now? Very impressive what he's doing. Okay, I've got the replay up here for this Peter Miller horse that finished last time on the turf. Terrible beginning.
And away they go. Time to Party hopped out fast alongside Double the Gold on the. He's the leader. Top of the lane. Time to Party only just in front now on the outside. Bombs and Coquel comes to take them on.
I don't see anything that I like out of this horse, out of this too. Unless the horse is really going to relish the dirt going a mile. And if the horse hated the turf, that's interesting. Yeah, these Peter Miller horses can change on a dime. That's a tough one for me. Okay, let's look at this horse. You're my boy, Cat. Low win percentage, but man, it's been game in his first 3 efforts coming out of main claiming company. Last one was a little bit better than before. Is this horse going to stretch out? Is my question. 8 furlongs to 57. Okay, might not prefer it or hate it. Let's see here. I'm interested in this Even Steven horse. Works have been a little slow, but second Scotty pick. We've got a nice GSR as a 59. Man, I don't feel confident singling anybody in this leg. Might have to spend a little bit more on the ticket or see if we can maybe find a single in the 5th leg. These first-time starter races can be very tough. I think it likes the 8 because of the experience that the 8 has at this level, and the 8 is dropping. But we're also going a mile, and sending a horse 2 turns for the first time is also a risk. Let's see if the Peter Miller horse is going to stretch out onto the dirt. So on the turf, He was a 58. 49 going that distance, and now we're going to the dirt. Okay, it looks like it doesn't make a difference, really. Dirt or turf, this horse is equal. Here's something to take note of. Flavian Pratt jumps off the 8 to ride the 7. Interesting. How the horse that's got the most experience and most class in this race, he's jumping off of. If we see last time out, horse sat 4th in an 8-horse field, was the favorite and was beat. And that was at a 52 SOR. That tells me a little bit I need to know about the 8. I'm going to single the 7 here, guys. I'm going with a hunch play. I know it's out there. It's a first-time starter, but we're taking a stand here with the 7. The 2 didn't impress me at all. The 2 got a perfect trip. I watched the replay here 2 minutes ago. I'd be fine singling the 6 in race 2, Daniel. I just think I didn't see anything else that really stood out to me in this race. I think Flavian jumping off the 8 kind of convinced me there, but then the 8's got 3%. That is not very high at all. And so I know I'm not going to get a price on the 8. I know I'm not going to get a price on the 2 because it's Peter Miller. And then the 7's, there's a little uncertainty here. This 7 could pop, or who knows? He could not run. He might need a start. But then I looked at the Scotty long shot here, has gone a mile. It was on the turf. Got kind of a bad trip. I think we're taking a stand here for now. Let's see what happens in race 5. I think Mike McCarthy works his horses slow. I really do. I think he hides them like that. Okay, race 5. We can always come back, guys. We're going 8.5 on the turf, claiming 32,000's non-winner of Lifetime 2. Okay, here we go. Let's see who's riding who we can eliminate right off the bat. Not really a whole lot of elimination horses in this leg. The system, let's see, Mike Maker shipping out another horse. System's using the 4, 8, and the 10. Look at this. When Mike McCarthy uses Kyle Fry, and I always wait until they've got about, at least 5 or 6 races under the belt before I really put a lot of merit into the win percentage. And they've had 12 mounts together, and Kyle's won half of them. So this Sweet Devil horse, the Scotty long shot, looks like they stretched him out again. And last time at Del Mar, coming out of a 58 group, really didn't do much running. 15-1 morning line. Our EE morning line has him at 10-1. He's catching a little softer competition, but he's ran against this type of competition before up at Santa Anita. And he gets Kyle Fry to ride for him, which they win at 50% of the time. No wonder this horse is the Scotty long shot here. All right, Mike Smith and Gallagher win at 7%. Not surprising. Let's see. Wonder who Mike Smith's going to ride in the Breeders' Cup. He had that Althika horse. He gets a lot of good mounts. All right, this 6 horse, Rispoli and Maker. Okay, 15-1 EE morning line, 6-1 morning line. Rispoli gets off the 4 to ride the 6. I think Maker's giving Rispoli a lot of love. Mark, he said it too. Rispoli and Maker on the turf cannot be ignored. Mike Maker's winning everything up at Saratoga. And so it would not surprise me at all if his horses keep the same form coming out here to Del Mar. And when I was out there 2 weeks ago, I was using the Maker horses. And I had one strong opinion that worked out and then one that didn't. But let's see. This horse is coming out of Indiana Grand, from Belmont, from Pimlico, from Kentucky Downs, from Keeneland. This horse has got a lot of miles. WinStar Farm. You always have to take note when you see those silks. Horse is coming out of some awful losses. 44.5 lengths, 18 3/4 lengths. This horse is going to have to turn a corner. I mean, this is brutal. I mean, this is probably the class level that the horse belongs in. You know, if you go back to the Kentucky Downs and the Indiana Grand Form, running about a 50 SOR, man, this is a tough one, though. He hasn't done any running. And I'm usually on board with these Maker Rispoli pairings. Rispoli, the turf god. Oh, the 6 is scratched. Thanks, guys. Let's look at this 4 horse. Look at how this horse burns money. My goodness. Every time the horse has been a favorite, he's lost. I don't like to see that. He's been competitive. He comes from way off of it, at least in the last start, or he goes to the lead. He does whatever he wants to do on any given day. This horse is unpredictable, 4-1. Okay, let's look at the 10. Okay. This horse was competitive at a 58 SOR at Del Mar just a few weeks back. Looks like he was wide. His odds were high. Horse is outperforming his odds. Wheels back at a little bit less of a class. Gets Pratt. Nice GSR on this horse. And the 8, Sweet Devil, for that matter. I think this 10's a must-use. This horse has just burnt so much money. But with Vlad, I would hate to leave this horse off. So here's my ticket. For $48, 1347 with 6-8 with 1, 2, 5, 6 with 7 with 4, 8, 10. That's $48. If I was going to get a little bit more skinny, I would erase the 8 in leg number 2, and we could get our ticket down to $24. Those are the 2 horses I'd probably be betting if I was playing, individual tickets here. So I mean, I think you could end up singling the 6 in leg 2, and as long as I'm right on the first time McCarthy starter in race number 4, and the reason why I like it's because they're starting a mile, and typically when a trainer debuts a horse going a mile, that's telling you that they think that they're the long distance type, and if people have debuted their horses sprinting and it hasn't worked out sprinting yet, now they're like, let's try longer. And you just never know if the horse is actually going to want to gobble up more ground. So there's 2 options of a ticket that I would probably play today. Okay, how many races we have at Del Mar? We got 8. So if we're on race 5, let's try a late pick 4, because I think that the pick 4 could have some value. Okay. Let's do a $24 budget for the pick 4 and use these 3 horses to start it out. I'd say if that Scotty Longshot wins in race 5, this thing could pay. The pick 4 only wants to use the 4 and the 10, but we can reassess and we'll come back because I definitely want to include the 8 if we can afford it. All right, now we're getting some better races here. The allowance optional claiming. Non-winners a lifetime, 1, going a mile on the dirt. Smooth like butter. That is a horse that I've been hearing a lot about over the years. Looks like they tried a turf experiment and it didn't work. Now they're coming back to the dirt again, where going, 8.5 furlongs seemed to be working. Outkicked late in a 56 group, so that's a little bit less than what they're facing here. But if we look at his prior starts, he was going against better. Looks like the ticket generator wanted him as well. Let's look at the one here. She's So Pretty. Jonathan Wong. Is this horse going to like the dirt? A synth horse that has ran on turf. Now we're going to the dirt. Dirt's a 65. So in my opinion, this horse should transfer over to the dirt with no problem. Very high win percentage. My goodness, 55%. How often do you see that on a 5-2 shot? I don't see that very often. All right, going against the 68. Here's where we're getting the win percentage. 8.5 furlongs, 68. Finishes second. That's strong. Comes back going 7. Wonder why they shortened him up. This horse should show some more speed. He stumbled in his last start even, going against the 68 group. This 4 is a strong horse. This 4 is definitely the horse to beat, and I don't think it's too close that he's the horse to beat. All right, we got Kristen Mulhall. This is a speed horse here. Shook free and widened. Won by 10 last time out. Wow. Okay. So here's what I'm doing with this. I'm trying to figure out if the 4 doesn't win, who has the best chance. Oh, David, good question. So I believe right now, if you do an EquinEdge subscription, I think if you get the premium one, I think Scotty does a 1-hour training session with you, and so you get the full tool, you get a training session, and then we want you definitely to watch the shows, like the shows, interact in the chat with us too. So. Yeah, I think I might leave this one off the ticket. Those are the 3 horses I'm going to go with here. With a lot of pressure on the 4. Definitely the 4 is the horse to beat here, but if we can beat him, I think it's the 7 or the 8. The 8 was super impressive last time out. Okay, let's go on to race number 7. Even better race, 11 furlongs. It's a long way. And the horse that I love beating the most this year, Ocean Atlantique. This horse cannot run. He just can't run. He's an American Pharaoh stepchild. He can't run, and the ticket generator doesn't even want him either. Rajeka, this is an old Safi Joseph horse that filled the motto claim. Specialist going long, especially 11 and 12 furlongs. Claiming horses off of Safi usually doesn't work out for a lot of trainers. McCarthy's got one in here for Fry, 1 and 11 furlongs. That's huge for me to see a horse win going the distance. His workouts have been good. KP, all systems go. This horse is stretching out. We have not gone long with this horse yet, so. Warden Jerry. Yep, he's won at this distance. No thanks to Ocean Atlantique. Margot's Boy. Scotty Longshot. JJ Hernandez. Let's try to make some cases for these horses stretching out. It looks like the GSR Plus is telling me no on Margot's Boy. If you look, he's a 71 at 9, but then 10.5 and beyond, he's a 59. Okay, KP Systems Go, 7 Charms. Yeah, I'm using this 8. That's definitely a use. Jaka, I'm not going to use this Rajaka horse. Wow, the EE morning line hates the 6. Let's see his GSR Plus going longer. Okay, it's not bad. It's not bad. I think this is a 2-horse race. Warden Jerry or the 7 Charms. Okay, on to the finale now. We've got main claimer 20,000 going 6.5. Average race SOR comes out to be a 40, so this is going to be a pretty weak group, guys. See, ticket generators and the top Scotty picks are the 3 and the 7. We got the Peter Miller horse and the Bob Hess Jr. horse. Okay, let's eliminate a few of these others that we don't think have a chance. About the Vienna. This 11's got a nice win percentage. Coming out of 44s. No. Gordy's Boy. On Pursuit. Man, that's a bad one too. Okay, so I eliminated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Eliminated 7 horses. So an 11-horse field, instead of having to handicap 11 horses, we've really narrowed it down to 4. And really, the only reason I'm keeping the 11 in my scopes is because of the high win percentage. He's a Scotty Longshot, and his EE morning line is just a tad bit lower than his regular. But what has happened to this horse? No running last time. Speed faded, pressed faded, dueled weekend. And these are going against 52, 42s, 44 groups. I don't see it here. Horse makes his own trouble, in my opinion. To me, this has got Peter Miller written all over it. Okay, let's see if this 3 is going to like the jump to the dirt. Okay, he shouldn't mind it, coming from turf to dirt for the first time. Oh, no, second time. First start in the dirt, $100,000 main claimer. Really didn't like it. But that was well in over his head, it looks like. I agree with you, Alex. This is kind of the unexpected. There we go. There's a $27 ticket. Keep it low cost. That way, if you catch the 10 in the first leg, or is it the 8? I think it's the 8 in the first leg. Yeah, he's 15-1 morning line. Scotty Longshot. Let's get this 8 home in race 5, and then we're looking at some decent payouts. Really didn't see a reason to single a horse. You could single the 4 in race 6. But as we know, trying to structure a ticket like that, it's difficult. I don't see these paying stacks. I see them, kind of like what we did last week. I think we did a $48 ticket, ended up paying $352. I could see something similar today if these hit. Maybe the pick 4 will pay $200, $300 maybe. So trying to keep in mind, once you go through a sequence, figure out in your head how much can it possibly pay if everything goes how we see it. And if it's a lot, spend more on your ticket. And if it's a less, then be a little bit more economical with your tickets. Oh, I want to look at Arlington with you guys if you've got a minute. Let's go back to the million. So on the show last week, we gave out the 1 as a single, and he actually did share, or I guess the 6 was a little bit favored over the 1, but this 1 was like 7-2 the whole time, and then he drops down, and the 6 horse was 3-5. So we gave out that single last week on the show. Absolute chaos. Goes gate to wire. I mean, the race was over at the 8th pole. That was cool. Race number 2, get none. It was just down to the 5 and the 1 here for me, and the 1 got the job done. 5 had a really nice GSR, really nice. Luis Saez on the 3, Merlin Song. This was the price of the day, besides the million. This was like the highest priced horse that won. Luis Saez just outrode in this race. I mean, there's really nothing to it there. He outrode Christopher on the 4. That helped our price a little bit. I played a nice $10 pick 5. Richie's in the house. This was Greg's bet of the day. He gave out the 8 over the 2, and unfortunately, the track was just too fast for this 2 to get up for second. And Saez was on the 6, and so he really made it hard to get by. But Richie's in the house, 45% win. EE 6-5. The EE morning line hit it right on the dot there with where the odds broke out actually. And look how good this is. I mean, the 7 was EE 30-1 morning line. He went off at 30-1. The 6, 4-1 went off at 7-2. 12-1, 12-1. I mean, these are all, really within a point of each other. So that was good. That was impressive. And then we saw Bramble Queen win going away after she dropped out of the Beverly D. So we cashed the pick 5 there. Then I know Justin really liked this 3 horse, Shantarisa. This was the Chad Brown runner, and finally found the right group, I think, to run against over here. It was an impressive turn of foot. And then I started a $20 pick 5, with the 1, 3, 4. Here's how I structured my tickets. I'll show you what I did. So I played, I think it was for $125. I have the ticket here. Start new wager, pick 5. I think that's what it was. 20. Yeah, there was my ticket for Million Day. And so we went 1, 3, 4 in leg 1. Then in leg 2, this is the Mean Mary Santa Barbara race. I really like Santa Barbara here. It was her turn of foot for me in her trip trouble last time out. Mean Mary's a game horse. Look out for the Santa Barbara coming up in the Breeders' Cup Filling Mare Turf. She probably will get maybe one more start before then, but this horse was ready to fire, and she did. Then we go to race 8. It was between Tango, Tango, Tango and Point By Me in this race. I did use the 1 and the 8 on a smaller ticket, hoping to catch a little bit of a price, but Saez and Eddie Keneally were just too tough here. Oh, then we get to the million. This one was tough. They went 52-2 to the half mile, 26-52. Thinking if Busy Channel the 8 could have broke a little bit better, that he would have applied a lot more pace pressure to 2 Emmys. Busy Channel beat this horse last time out. And then Domestic Spending just couldn't get up. That was our single. Then we singled the 2 here. This horse, another mystery, scratched out of the million. Luckily, I had a little saver exacta 4 over the 9 to end the day. So I think that paid $6, $5.30. So not really big prices at Arlington, but man, it was tough to have 9 out of the 10 winners. I agree, Andrew. Armory was a total no-show. Totally 8-5 EE. I mean, the system was giving this horse major credit. Top Scotty pick, equal win percentage. What happened to this horse? I mean, this was uncharacteristic. It's those horses shipping over. I think it's you got to attribute the same thing when we ship a horse over to Saudi or Dubai. They just might not be the same over here. So, all right, guys, I've got to get back to the office now. Probably got some client phone calls to make, and it was fun with you guys. I'll be back tonight at 9 o'clock to do our Saratoga show. So hope you guys will tune in for that. But in the meantime, take care, everyone. We'll talk to you soon.